It is the Flow Friday Night Sports Show, and let's talk Great Flinders football now. Chris Prime joins me on the line to help us go through the results from last weekend. Primey, how are you, mate?
Look, I'm good, Reed. Yes, a beautiful day for footy last week. Bit of sunscreen came out, but yeah.
Well, you hadn't seen much sun for a week before that, had you? You personally, that is?
No, I'd been locked inside, and a nice day at footy. So, I think the weather's going to change this week.
Yeah, looks that way. We might be getting a taste of winter this weekend, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It was a breakthrough round last round, and there was. I won't say it was a breakthrough, but Tumby Bay again trouncing Air United. They couldn't break through for a win. 3-goal, 8-26 was never going to get it done. Tumby Bay piled on 19-16, 130, a 104-point win. Air United are struggling at the moment, but your boys did what you had to do.
Look, they did. And look, you can't be disappointed with a win like that, and you can only play what's put against you. I guess the test for Tumby will be over the next few weeks as we get it against the stronger side. So, look, while they'll be happy, they'll be realistic. Like a couple of injuries out of the day, and they'll be looking forward to this week to really see where they fit.
Austin Momfrey's booted 7, named in the best as well. Kieran Fair, not a name I'm familiar with. Tell me about this boy.
Oh, look, he's one of those blokes. He'll go under the radar, but he chases, he tackles, he does all that hard stuff. He's generally at the bottom of the pack, or if someone tackles someone, he'll be the one getting up. So he's just a hard nut, and he goes hard at it and goes all day. Works well with Mitch Laurie, so it's two very similar players that you're back in all the time.
That's what you want to see. Jaeger Cross as well for the vanquished. Flynn Webb, Tommy Forrest, Elijah Forster named in their best. It was Foster, Ware and Webb doing the goal kicking for them, only 3 on the day. So they're struggling at the moment. The Saints, let's just hope they can get more competitive as the season goes on, I guess.
Yeah, we can only hope.
All right, another game which was a hiding to not very much was the Eagles, United Yolana, 20-10, 130, knocking off Ramblers 7-4-46. Boy, the gulf between the top sides in the comp and that second tier, which I think we can safely say Ramblers are in, is, it's about that large, isn't it? Nearly 100 points.
Well, it is. My thought before the game was that Ramblers would probably stay around the mark, till half time. I think the first quarter blew them out of the water, 8-1, and it's hard to come back from that. And Yolana went on their merry way.
Yeah, I guess in junk time, when you're nearly 80 points up at three-quarter time, they managed to stem the bleeding in the final term, but it was all over by then. So I'll tell you what, this Eagles side is stacked, so much so that they had, I believe, Air Peninsula former EP skipper, a male medalist, multiple male medalist, running around in the twos in Reece Francis. If you don't mind, just get him into some match fitness in the B grade.
Yeah, B grade doesn't go that long, but I know there's always those jokes around. Maybe, didn't you mow the coach's lawn or wash the car? So maybe he got in trouble for not mowing a lawn or not washing a car or being late to training, and just had to play B grade as penalty. But
isn't he the actual coach though?
Yeah, he is.
He didn't mow his own lawn.
Oh, look, I'm trying to make up some sensible reason why he'd be playing in the twos, but look, it's a bit of a luxury they can probably afford at the moment, so.
Well, when you have a look through that side, no, I wouldn't have thought, but when you have a look through that side, boy, there's going to be a good player come out of that team and go back to the twos if Reece is to get back in, which I'm sure he will at some point. Matty Cretton had booted 8, Stephen Cretton had booted 5, Michael Cretton had booted 2. It was the Cretton show, but it normally is out there at Eagle Land, and there's a few supporting acts like Casey Carr and Bryce Breed and Sean Maxfield and Xavier Watson and Jackson Norton. Take your pick. It's a stack side.
It is. It's an outstanding side, and it's if one doesn't get you, another one will. So, and I guess a bit of the highlight of the whole side is that the majority of them are local.
Yeah.
They've been playing footy together for 10, 15 years, a lot of them, and they sort of know what each other's doing almost before they do it. So, just that time together. It's just be able to keep them all together, and then you add one or two, and it's going to be a tough team to beat.
Yep. All right, final match of the round. Elliston Districts taking on Lock. The Roosters here could have been anything. They kicked 8-18 in accuracy, costing them a big percentage boost against the Roos, who could only muster up 4-5. They were just too good all over the ground, the Roosters. This is a side that they're putting together. It's obviously gelling and gelled probably quicker than maybe they would have thought it would have. But, this is a pretty good footy side as well when you look through the list. There's not a lot of stars in amongst the Elliston Districts crew, but boy, it's an even side.
Oh, look, it is, and I think they've shown right from the get-go when they played Yolanda at the start of the year that they're going to be around the mark. And as you said, like 1 goal 7 in the first quarter sort of sets the tone. Unfortunately, not in the one you want, but it also it starts playing in your mind like, when you have a shot after that, I've got to kick this, and sometimes that just takes effect throughout the day. And when you end up with 8 goal 18, 18 goal 8, the score would have looked a lot worse. So for the Lock boys, so yeah, look, Elliston will be very much around the mark again this year.
Yep, and if you have a look on paper and you match up Lock's best 10 players with Elliston's best 10, you'd probably go, well, there's not much in it, but it's the next 10 for Elliston that don't drop off anywhere near as much as they do at Lock, unfortunately for the Roos at the moment, but they'll keep battling away. Just when you're about ready to put a line through Lock is when they normally come good. When their back's against the wall, that's when they're at their best.
It is. They've always, doesn't matter what they put on the oval, they're always a tough team to play against. So they just have an ability just to keep fighting and finding ways and scrapping through. So, they will bounce back. They'll be disappointed with that loss, but, they'll bounce back in the next couple of weeks.
Yep. All right, let's check the ladder. Tumby Bay on top. They're in the A grade at the moment. United Yolanda second, both on 3-0. Tumby's percentage is 316, obviously helped out by 2 clashes against Air United. Primey, I just thought I'd point out the bleeding obvious there.
Yes, that is. Probably that will be adjusted as we play the next few, I would think.
Elliston Districts, third on the ladder at the moment, 2 wins and a loss. Ramblers, 2 and a loss. And then we've got Lock, Cummins Kapini Cougars, believe it or not, and Air United yet to break their duck. I think Cougars might get an opportunity to break that duck this weekend. But, let's have a look at this round of matches, and we will start, in fact, with Elliston Districts, who at Minnipa, a home game for the Elliston crew at Western District's old home ground, or one of them, and they will be taking on the Saints from Air United, who have got quite the road trip ahead of them.
Look, they have, and it's always hard travelling, and I think this will be a tough one for the Air United boys. Elliston Districts are travelling on pretty well, and always end up having a little bit stronger side when they're at home, and I think it will be a very one-sided affair.
Interesting to see the locals there at Minnipa getting behind the Elliston Districts team. Should be an interesting game. The Minnipa Oval, beautiful oval. The Saints will enjoy the trip for that, but I don't think they're going to enjoy the trip on the field. Elliston Districts, if they kick straight, which I'm sure they'll have adjusted or made the adjustments they need to, this scoreline could be anything, mate.
It could be. It's funny, and a lot of footy's mindset, and it depends on the way they come to the game. If they are there to play, well, I think it will be very much one-sided.
All right, 2 winless teams. We'll talk about them next. One of them's going to have got their first win of the season. Cummins Kapini Cougars taking on Lock at Cummins Oval. Can't believe it. We're, nearly a month into the season and Cougars haven't had a win yet, but I think they will in this one. They get a few players back. I think they'll have their foot on the till for this game.
Oh, look, they will, and it's about that point of the season. If they don't put their foot down, not they're out of the finals contention, but it gets tougher and tougher. Like those early wins and percentage make a big difference, and their confidence would be down a little bit after. They've probably played two of the top 2 or 3 sides in the league over the first couple of games, and they get a chance against probably one of the mid-range sides this week, and they'll want to prove where they sit.
It should be an interesting game. I think Cougars win. What do you reckon, Primey?
Yeah, look, I think Cougars will get over the line. It'll probably be a 6 or 7 goal win. I think I'll just have a few too many cattle on the oval.
All right, let's talk about the match of the round. It's the top of the table clash at Tumby Bay, where the hosts will get the full litmus test against United Yolana. This will be a big game, and we'll find out exactly where Tumby Bay do sit in the grand scheme of things. We know where Yolana sit, right at the top. Nothing's going to change that with the side that they have at their disposal, but just how good are your Blues, mate?
Well, I guess that's the test. I know I've talked to a few of the players, and the way they've played's been good. But they understand this is where you really get tested when you're playing against the side that when you make a mistake, it costs. Like you miss a target, or you make a mistake in the middle, bang, they're having a shot at goal. So you don't get a lot of second chances against Yolana, and I think the Tumby boys will have to bring their very best A game, not just their A game, but their very best. And hope the Yolana boys are just a little bit off, I think. But I think overall Yolana will get over the line. My heart would say, look, Tumby, but my head says Yolana. So
well,
I think that's where it will go.
We're having this clash pop up in round 5, I reckon, is beautiful for your guys, Tumby Bay. It's like a practice exam at school. It's, serious stuff, but if you don't get it right here, you've still got a fair bit of time to get it right before the main event. So not a lot of pressure on Tumby. You're playing with house money. Should be interesting to see how your boys go.
Look, it will be, and I guess the next fortnight we'll test the Tumby boys with Yolana, and just a warm-up test for Elliston the week after. So I think they'll probably find out in the next fortnight where they sit, and then they can work from there.
Yeah. All right. Anything else for us to talk about before we wrap it up, Primey?
Oh no, look, it's just starting to get that cold time of year, so make sure we bring our blankies and jackets when we go to the footy. I think Saturday might be the first time we cop the more wintry weather. Nice 30k winds,
pack the thermals. This is usually the time of year where the long sleeve skins start to break out. I was disappointed in Barossa Light and Gawley game on the weekend to see about half a dozen Anguston players running around or rocking the long sleeve skins under the jumper, mate. Surely you wouldn't be rocking anything like that.
That'd have to be a fine, wouldn't it?
And I can tell you now, Primey, what would disappoint you even more about this is one of them was none other than Jackson Murphy.
Yeah, he probably had a man bun too.
It's a virus out there at Anguston, and Jackson has caught it.
Yeah, I've never been I can understand the mini colts wearing their skivvies under their jumpers when it's like 12 or 13 degrees, but you just tough it out. You warm up after a little while, so yeah.
Needless to say, I've always said if you've got more than 3 players in your team wearing long sleeves, you can't win. And needless to say, they went down by 2 goals in a scrap that they lost.
Well, I think that's about right then. I'll go with your theory.
Good on you, mate. We'll leave it there. We'll catch up with you next week.
All right, thanks, Regs.